Can you please review my forms for me? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I receive a request probably once a day or once every other day, people asking us to go ahead and just review their forms before they submit them. They'd be happy to pay us for that service, but that is not a service that we offer, and here's why. The immigration forms look really, really simple. I can see why some people think that all immigration is the filling out of forms and waiting. But there's so much more to it than that. That's why I'm shooting today's video. My wife and I attended a CLE a few years ago. A CLE is continuing legal education. Lawyers are responsible for maintaining their license by continuing to get educated in their areas of expertise. A few years ago, we went to the CLE in Kansas City, and there was an older immigration lawyer there. And he was talking about the filling of forms and the answering of questions on forms. And here's what he said. He said, a notario knows what the questions that are being asked on the forms. A lawyer knows why the questions are being asked. A notario is someone who is not a lawyer, who pretends to be a lawyer. They'll have offices that say immigration forms or tax forms and immigration forms, or notario, that'll actually say notario. And they are people who hang out around the immigration office. They have big billboards, and for a low fee, they'll fill out your forms. But 9 times out of 10, the notario puts in the wrong information or misses issues. And I can't tell you how many times we've had to take over a case from a notario in which their case has been screwed up because the notario had no clue what they're doing. Here's the thing. Don't be fooled by the simplicity of the questions in the forms. Each question, except for the basic background information, is designed to figure out if you are inadmissible to the United States. In other words, that you are not eligible for the benefit that you are seeking. So there are a number of questions on the forms that if you answer yes, that could be very problematic for you. And you just don't know why it's so important and why this particular question might result in you not getting the immigration benefit that you're asking for. When I started practicing immigration law, the green card application was 4 pages long. Now it's over 20 pages. And it has questions split down the middle, so it's basically like a double-sided document full of questions as compared to the 4 pages of questions that we used to have just 10 years ago. As you can see, things are a whole lot more complicated now than they used to be, and you have to remember that USCIS is looking for reasons to deny your case. They're not just running in there with their happy stamp saying approved, approved, approved. It's quite the opposite. They're sitting on cases, they're looking at the forms with a fine-tooth comb. So if you think that it's a good idea for you to just send in the forms yourself, I think you're probably mistaken. I think you need to look into really what it takes to get an immigration application approved. Our office has handled hundreds, if not thousands, of green card cases and hundreds of citizenship cases. We handle overseas visa cases every single day. And because of that, we've seen almost every kind of scenario. Now, I'm often shocked that people still come up ways to screw up their cases that we haven't thought about before. But at the end of the day, we've seen these cases over and over, and we've learned over time why each question is important. We have points of reference because we've sat in interviews with immigration officers where they've raised an issue over a particular question, and we've spent a ton of time teaching our team and developing systems to catch errors or to catch issues that might be preventing our clients from potentially receiving the benefits that they deserve. So this is not like filling out an application for a driver's license. All of the questions are legally significant. All of the questions are designed to keep you from getting the immigration benefit that you want. So when you call our office or when you email me and say, hey, Jim, can you review our forms for us? We don't do that as a matter of policy because there's so much more to immigration. There's so much more to our expertise than just filling out the forms. It's sort of like if you were building a new house and you said, hey, I'm going to put in all the pipes myself, and then I'm going to have a plumber come look at them real quick before I close up the walls. Would you do that? If you would, that's pretty dumb. I understand that not everybody can afford an attorney, and I get that. But we offer payment plans, and we have worked out situations with people to help them be able to work with us. And I'm not trying to encourage you to necessarily hire us. I'm just trying to make the point that in the forms, there are a bunch of minefields, and you won't even see the minefields coming. You won't even see why your case gets denied. People send us denials every single day. We are receiving so many contacts from new potential clients these days, we see probably 20 or 30 denials every week. And I would venture to guess that at least 50% of those could have been avoided if somebody worked with an attorney from the beginning. You have to ask yourself, is getting this immigration benefit high on the list of things that are important to me? I would hope that it is. I have a client down in Florida who's pretty smart. He hired us to file a lawsuit against the Immigration Service because his green card had been delayed. He got a notice for a second green card interview, and he decided to hire me to come to Miami next week to handle his case and to go to the interview. I think that's smart. Keeping your status and being able to change your status to that of lawful permanent resident to stay on that pathway to citizenship should be an important thing to most people. So don't mess around with filling out the forms yourself, and please don't call our office asking us to fill out the forms because we won't do it. We hope this makes sense. We hope you understand the point of view that I'm trying to express. If you do have any questions, or if you're looking to work with us on your immigration case, feel free to give us a call at 314-961-8200. You can email us at info@hackinglawpractice.com. You can join us in our Facebook group. That's called Immigrant Home, and we have people joining Immigrant Home every single day. We're heading close to 9,000 members. We also have our YouTube channel that has thousands of YouTube videos in which I answer immigration questions and which I cover topics like this one today. On most days, you'll find me answering immigration questions on our Immigration Answers show. Try saying that 5 times quickly. You'll find us answering those questions on the show if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, or if you join that Immigrant Home Facebook group, you'll get alerted as soon as we go live. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.